Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my parents' basement, your parents' basement, our parents' basement, and today we're talking about a Warner Brothers printing issue that is causing DVD releases from 2006 to 2008 to experience early disc rot. Now, disc rot is usually when the chemicals of a DVD, of a Blu-ray, they start to deteriorate, and therefore the layers of the disc are no longer readable to the player. And this is usually expected to take place after a disc lasts at least a lifetime. And so, usually it's not very much a concern for physical media collectors because as long as you care for the disc properly, such as proper storage in a controlled temperature area that doesn't experience high fluctuations. That's also regulated with the humidity. Usually, it's suggested to keep it in its case. Don't put it in the sleeves in those books and whatever. Uh, they should uh, last longer, last their expected lifetime, perhaps even extend further beyond that. And so it's not really a concern. My movies are for me to enjoy. So what happens after my lifetime doesn't really matter. Sorry to the future generations that thought that this collection would go to them. It's actually not. But no, in all reality, it's not really much of a concern. Take care of your discs, and they should be okay. And obviously, I've moved beyond DVD into 4K and Blu-ray, but it's still it represents, I think, a bigger issue of lack of quality control. So I was looking through physical media forums the other day, and I saw a post that was talking about how 2006 to 2008 to 9 DVD releases from Warner Brothers that were printed in that time frame have experienced disc rot. Here we are only 15 years or so afterward. And this issue started a couple years back, but it just never made huge waves, I guess, outside of online forums. And so I've seen a couple YouTube videos about it, some dating to 2 years ago, others not so, or others a little bit closer to today. But I thought it'd just be an interesting topic to talk about because I did see the article that came out on March 1st from Joe Blow, and I'll link some of the YouTube videos down below so you guys can check them out too. Where people go over some of the collections. There's over 200, I saw a list of over 200 movies. It affected a lot of movie collections. I know one specifically was like a Humphrey Bogart collection. There was some seasons of TV shows that are affected. I believe a couple seasons of the Batman animated series on DVD, which I own. I don't know if I have the version printed in between those 2 years or not, but I have that set on DVD. I also have it on Blu-ray, so I'm not super concerned, but it would still suck. I know it affected some Dukes of Hazzard seasons, and I have some of those, so I'm interested to know. But that got a Blu-ray release upgrade as well. So again, the concern more so really arises from the ones that don't have Blu-ray releases or aren't available digitally. And anyway, while I'm making this video, I might as well also be an advocate for physical media. And maybe I'll do a separate video on that one day. But physical media, a lot of people talk about today, what's the point of physical media? You got everything digital. You can either buy it digitally or stream it on Netflix or HBO or whatever it may be. There's no need to take up storage and buy these discs at sometimes insane prices for no reason. I talked one of my last videos about the conversation on 4K from Lionsgate Limited. That was about $70. And someone could argue, why would you buy that when you could stream it for free or buy it digitally for $10 or whatever it runs? But to me, there's something about, I happen to have the third man right here. There's something about having this physically and just holding it and feeling it and having it up on the shelf and being able to pull it off and look at the art and look at the book that comes in it and look at the pictures of behind the scenes. And even just looking at this and examining it and just holding it, not even having to put it in, I experience memories and emotions that are tied with this film and tied with getting this. And so that doesn't come from watching something on a streaming service or buying it digitally, or going up to my shelf and just looking over my movies and having all those memories of when I first saw that or when I first bought that. You don't get that cycling through Netflix. And also, movies come and go off Netflix. You buy your movies off PlayStation, they could take them away at any point. No one, and there's a clip of Christopher Nolan talking about this, no one's going to come into my house and take my movies. And if they do, I will fight them to the death. So unfortunately, these discs, there's nothing that can be done about them. Once a disc experiences disc rot, it's over. There's no wise tale about highlighting the bottom with a highlighter or putting it in a disc cleaner that can clean it. The disc itself is ruined. The layers of it that store the film itself are contaminated. It's over. And so I think it's important to, if you have, check, like I said, I got, maybe I'll post a link to the forum that you guys can check it out and look through all the movies. I know some, I think there's some Stanley Kubrick releases from the specific line of this time were affected. Again, I think some, a lot of classic Hollywood collections were, and like I said again, a lot of these have other DVD releases, other Blu-rays have been transferred to 4K, so it's not a precedent in that manner. But just like I said again, more about quality control, more about the standards that should be upheld, and just to be aware of what's happening. And as far as I know, Warner Brothers might, I think they're willing to send replacement discs, but only for films that are still in print. So if your film was only in print for this run and now it's experiencing disc rot, unfortunately you're probably not going to get a replacement disc. But if the film is still being in their print lineup, I think you'd have to reach out to their sales team and see. Well, guys, I think I've covered all I wanted to talk about, had to talk about. Like I said, if you're interested to learn more, check out the forum, watch some of the other videos I put down in the comments below. Those guys, very talented, intellectual individuals that know a lot about physical media and home theater stuff, so definitely recommend them highly. And in some cases, they go over some of the films in their own collections that have experienced disc rot and their whole experiences, so maybe worth checking out for you. And then I'll also put the forum down below so you can read about that, see the list of over 200 plus movies, both individual and like collection sets that have experienced disc rot, so you can maybe check out your own collection. But I wouldn't use this as a mechanism to say physical media is bad. We know nothing lasts forever. We know things have malfunctions and errors. I just think it was just an interesting story that piqued my curiosity, and I wanted to do a little video about it to talk about it real quick. But to me, it's still, physical media is still important, even if every now and again we buy a disc that was scratched in transit, or there's a bad transfer, whatever it is. It doesn't take away from the joy I get grabbing a movie off the shelf and just not even putting it in, just looking at it and experiencing that relationship. And then obviously the joys of putting it in, or just the simple fact that I know that at any point in time that I want to watch a specific movie, I have it, and I can go down and I can get it. As I've said before many times, my philosophy is, if at any time during the course of my life I feel like I may have an inkling to watch a specific film, I have to have that movie. Even if it's a movie that I watched one time and said, I hate this movie, if there's a feeling in my soul that I feel that I will want to watch the movie again, even for laughs, even for cries, even on a dark rainy day where I just feel like disappearing into my own mattress, like Freddy Krueger's pulling me in, I want to have that movie. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. In the comments below, let me know what you think of this whole deal. If you have any movies from Warner Brothers that experienced disc rot, your experiences with all this stuff, your ideas of physical media. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you gotta do, but make sure that you're here next time so I can see you in my parents' basement, your parents' basement, our parents' basement.